Somewhere in the bowels of the city that never sleeps.
Kevin McCullough, radio host with Salem Media.
Is a man also not sleeping.
Syndicated radio talk show host Kevin McCullough.
And that guy would like a word with you.
Many of you know him as Nostradamus.
Of course that Kevin show is going to be great. The only thing that could be greater, of course, would be that Donald show. But we don't have that, so we have that Kevin show.
Featuring the music of Dick Tunney and the Dream in Color Orchestra. And tonight, reaction to the situation in Israel from the New York Post's Carol Markowitz. Mr. and Mrs. Hercules on A Miracle in East Texas. Kevin and Sam Sorbo. And Glenn Hansard in the New Music Spotlight. And now, from Times Square, where his prayers this evening are for the hostages taken on October 7th and have not been returned. Here's that Kevin.
Thank you, Dave. It is a concerning time for our country. I wrote about it last week in townhall.com. We talked about it a little bit on this show. I've had, since that time, the course of this week, I filled in on SNC tonight a couple of nights, had a lot of radio hours this week, and I'm still processing, as you are, what is going on in Israel, in Gaza. The Israelis, of course, launching their incursion ground game this week, Friday and Saturday night, or Thursday and Friday night, and what we're seeing now is some 150 targets were supposedly hit on Friday night's launch into Gaza. This is what most reasonable people that I've spoken with have expected and kind of hoped that Israel would do. That what they would do is that they would go about clearing the capacity for the terrorists to ever be able to use these mechanisms against the free people of Israel ever again. And it has really been disheartening to see the reaction in the United States. Here in New York, we've had many people do what I'm going to show you in a video here. We've got tons and tons of video footage of people walking up to the telephone poles where the posters of the kidnapped hostages are at and tearing their pictures down. And yesterday, a video went viral of some New Yorkers fighting back. Take a look at this.
Why do you rip it off? Why do you rip it off? Put it back. Why do you rip it off? Put it back. Well, show me what you're holding. Yeah, keep it on. No, what are you doing? You know where they are right now? Do you have any idea where they are right now?
All right.
I'm a veteran. I'm telling you.
All right.
Don't do it.
I'm not Jewish. He's not Jewish. I don't know if he is or not. Doesn't matter. This is the U.S. This is New York City. You don't have the right to touch that. This is a free country. You can wave your Palestine flag and say death to the Jews or America whenever you want. But we can put up signs. Okay? Then don't rip that down. You are doing something. You're offending us. Yeah, you are. When you throw that on the floor, you're littering the city. In a minute, I'm going to litter the floor with you.
You have a proof?
So move on. You have proof they're not kidnapped? No, so shut the up.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I know that's what you want. I'm dying to put you in the hospital.
And I don't know. I mean, the consensus on this video is that there needs to be a lot more of this. Because in a pluralistic society where religions are respected and the freedom to practice them are respected, that only works if one of those faiths, as being practiced in its extreme, does not take the lives of people that disagree with it. And it cost me an appearance on a major cable channel once many years ago when I brought the uncomfortable into the light and said, well, there's only one of the three major faiths that advocates the beheading of its enemies. And I'm not saying that every person that practices that particular faith believes that particular doctrine. There are people that claim that the Ku Klux Klan is an expression of Christianity. They are incorrect. It is not a form of Christianity. But there are those that believe that that speaks for Christians, and it does not. Muslims that disagree with Hamas need to be the loudest voices in the conversation right now. But they're not. And that's part of the problem. What we are dealing with is the reality that on America's streets right now, particularly on our college campuses, pro-terrorist demonstrations, not pro-Palestinian demonstrations, pro-terrorist demonstrations are taking place. And even in the way they are carrying out their demonstrations, they are assaulting and taunting the American Jews that they see and come into contact with. I want you to see this bit of video from Tulane University. Again, either Thursday or Friday of this week, but it was just within the last couple of days. And I want you to see, just take note, who is instigating the anger towards who? Who is taunting the other? This is the same thing that's happening in Gaza. This is the same thing that's happening in the Arab Street tonight. And the same thing is now happening on the streets of America. And it's disheartening and it's disgusting. But just take a look. This happened in the streets of Tulane near New Orleans just night before last. The head dressing, by the way, that you see the guy wearing there, that is the head dressing. The specific black and white pattern that's on that head dressing is the head dressing of the Hamas terrorists. It is the Hamas head dressing. It is not the simple Palestinian flag. It is not the simple expression of Palestinians. It is the expression of the terrorists. And look at how the supporters of the terrorists come over to the Israeli side of the street and begin to taunt the students that are there. There's only one side in this fight that is taunting the other side. The Israelis are trying to, the Israeli supporters are trying to simply say that Israel has the right to exist. But you can count the signs in this video that show the number of people that say, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. There's no Palestine. Palestine has never existed. There's never been a Palestinian country. There have been 3 Jewish states on this same land in the course of human history. You never hear that in the media. You never hear that being told to the people that are watching. But here in this video, the pro-terrorist demonstrators continually come and taunt the Jewish kids, the supporters of Israel, the people that are on the side of Israel. And eventually, some of the police do intercede and take away some of the worst rabble-rousers, and they have the guy that drove the truck down the middle of the demonstration. They finally have him move. But even as he's moving, he's flipping off the crowd while wearing the terrorist headscarf. Friends, we have people openly on our soil that are demonstrating support for people who would kill all of us tomorrow. And that's why I'm not sure that we can be totally down with saying that any expression of Islam is okay in America. I think Islam that seeks peace and seeks to live at peace with their neighbors, we can allow that. But every one of these people need to be deported. Every one of the people that are calling for the death to Israel and death to America, they need to be deported. And as our open border is wide open and thousands, about 10,000 a day, many of which are young military-aged men, are coming into our country, we need to demand from our government that there will be a cease and desist on the importing of these people, a tracking of who's here, finding out what their intentions are, and ensuring that we don't have an October 7th visit the U.S. homeland. This is where we're at. We have people openly defying what America is. They are openly defying the freedoms that we enjoy. They are openly defying the people who live here. And they are doing it in our face. Congress needs to wake up. The White House needs to get its act together. But friends, this is a sad, sad night in America. I feel for my Jewish friends in Israel who go to bed each night right now, pretty much very afraid of what's happening. They don't know what's going to happen in the next 24 hours. But a close second, I feel very, very compassionate for my Jewish friends who I stand behind. I stand with Israel. I stand with my Jewish friends 100%. As we are seeing these heinous, heinous demonstrations of support for terrorists who, let's be honest, if they had their druthers, they would kill all of us. Kevin McCullough, we're coming right back.